War Eagle War Report family, I'm your host C-Dub, and of course we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We'll be discussing the transfer portal, the latest updates there, as well as a pretty quiet signing day. But plenty is to make fuss about with Auburn basketball team sweeping Bama last night, and all of the guys are here to break down that game as well as preview another upcoming rivalry game this upcoming weekend. But for now, sit back, get your weight up, because tonight we enter the war room.
You are now listening to the War Report. Wednesday night War Room. Brought to you by Auburn Sports.com. Ike Jones. B. Will. C. Doe. Mike G. Let's go!
War Eagle, everyone. War Eagle. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the latest Wednesday Night War Room, brought to you by our good friends at auburnsports.com. Guys, for your latest in terms of recruiting and all news regarding Auburn athletics, head on over to auburnsports.com. Shout out to JG Tate, Brian Matthews, Christian Clemente, and all those good fellas over there keeping you updated on the latest. Please be sure to check them out. Also, shout out to our War Report family, guys. Please do the necessary. If you're watching live or on replay, share this video using hashtag #GetYourWeightUp. Share it on social media. Share it on Facebook, Twitter. Let people find our content. Help us to grow and expand our community. And if you're not a part of our community already, we got some great content coming for you in the off season, and Mike G will tell you all about it. You're muted, Ike.
Become a patron. All it takes is a YouTube account, a credit card, and you're 66% of the way there. Enter it and select the patron option. And we're going to have some great stuff on the other side of that paywall for you guys. So you guys know the deal. Become a patron. Visit our YouTube channel. Hit that join button. We are partnered with the Lee County Humane Society to raise money for a great cause. We're trying to hashtag save all the puppies with the LCHS. Please help us. The link to this is in the About section of our YouTube channel. You guys can go there. 50 cents on every dollar. Donate it to them to help them save all the puppies. We're definitely going to do it. It is a giveaway stream. What are we giving away today, guys? Are we giving away a He Gone shirt or an AU shirt?
Let's just do the AU, Joe.
AU it is, right? It's basketball season. This is original War Report gear. We're working on the patents to all this stuff just so people cannot take our ideas and mass produce them because they were faster than we were. So hashtag get your weight up in the comments. This is brought to you by GWT2 Energy Consulting Services. That's our guy, Walt Taylor, in the comments. Give him a digital high five when you see him in these War Report streets. We're on podcast, guys. Check us out on every single podcast platform. We're putting out a lot of content on podcasts lately. So, our Bruce Pearl went up today. We got some other things going up this week. You guys don't want to miss that. Check us out on podcasts. We're on every single podcast platform.
Appreciate that, sir. Guys, you doing all right?
I'm good.
I'm good. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold here. It's real cold.
It's actually not cold
Not
here.
here.
And I'm happy about
I'm
that.
freezing.
Right here. Don't know why I had this hoodie on, but I guess I'm repping. But guys, let's go ahead and get into it. It's this perhaps is one of it has to be the most quiet signing day ever in Auburn history. We know there's an early signing period, and unlike last year, Auburn did much of its work on the front end, leading us with not a lot of suspense for today, and there clearly wasn't, because we didn't really sign anyone of note. I think we had a preferred walk-on coming to the fold for Auburn, but some of the biggest news today for Auburn actually involved a current player leaving. Javarius Johnson has entered the transfer portal.
Yes.
Needless to say, that's disappointing. He was definitely a contributor to our receiving core last year. I'll start with you, Mike G. Your thoughts on this?
Okay, so when Kobe left, production went out the door. It's a little bit more production went out the door. with JJ. So this is a tough one, man. The optics of this I get, but the truth is this is happening everywhere. And maybe some of the dysfunction that we had didn't attribute to this. But there are some things happening in house right now. They're trying to get it straight. This is part of the process. We've got to tear down, rebuild, try to start over. Wish him well on his journey. We talked to Bruce Pearl about the transfer portal. He said, "Listen, Mike, a lot of these guys who jumped in here did not find greener grass on the other side. So I hope a lot of these guys who are choosing to make this jump in their own self-interest find green grass on the inside, on the other side. But if he didn't want to be here for whatever the reason was, it's best that he's not here. I mean, this has changed the game, right? The portal has changed the game. So this is it, man. Get ready for this every year."
Dorian Hurd says it's basketball season, Dorian. It's basketball season. No need to go get
basketball season.
It is basketball.
That's how you
season.
That's how you got to say it. That's how you got to say it. No need to get blood pressure medicine. No, it's not. No, it's not. Things are good over there, so you can focus on basketball when you hear news like this. Unfortunately for us, we got to talk about it. Ike, what are your thoughts on this decision by our latest wide receiver?
All right. So first and foremost, I don't even know where a panic button exists right now because I'm not even close to there. I don't get panicky. It's January. We don't start playing football until August. Like, I just don't understand the necessity to panic in January about a football season that starts in August. There's just a lot. I don't know, man. Listen, first and foremost, he could withdraw his name from the transfer portal tomorrow because he put his feelers out there. He didn't like what he got back out. Like, I'm just not there with y'all yet. And y'all, I don't mean the other three that are on this panel. I'm talking about the droves of people I've seen on social media just running around with their hair on fire. I'm just not there. I'm just not there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And this is only if people remain healthy. I get that. I understand depth and all of those things. Trust me, I watch football a lot. How many wide receivers can touch the field at one time, typically? If we're going max package, how many wide receivers are going to be on the field?
4, maybe 5.
4, maybe 5.
Right.
Where's the panic button necessity with that? Can we field 3 consistent receivers, maybe 4, with the tight ends that we have and still be able to play football games at a high level next season? Absolutely, yes. Part 2 of this, if I'm not mistaken, the vast majority of the fandom hated the wide receiver core that we have. Why are y'all sad that one of them dudes ain't going to be playing here next year? I don't understand that. Well, we needed more people, not less. If I were a wide receiver, why would I want to play for a fan base that's telling me I'm trash? Since we want to blame the fan base for stuff, let's start there. Why would I want to do that? Y'all gotta pick what side of this do you want to be on? The wide receivers are trash. They shouldn't play for any football team, including Auburn, or I'm upset that he left.
Boy, church is on Sunday.
Which one of these people do y'all want to be today? I don't understand. I don't understand. These same people, Derek Mason is terrible. He should get off of our football team. Derek Mason left. Oh my God, something's wrong with Brian Harsin? Y'all have lost your minds. Like, you fundamentally have lost your ability to be cognitive at any point. This is the epitome of cognitive dissonance. You have to stop doing this every time something happens. The world is not ending because someone decided to transfer from Auburn University. We are not the only program that has had double-digit transfers, and it's not going to be the last time this is ever going to happen. Let me say something specifically about Javarius Johnson. I think he's a supremely talented young man. I wish he would change his mind because I liked the prospects of what he brought as a slot receiver for Auburn University.
Yeah.
However, if he doesn't feel like Auburn is the place for him, then I wish him the absolute best at where he decides to go. That I can still decide that he is going to be a good football player, just not for Auburn. I don't see why there's got to be a reason for me to panic on today, February 2nd. Football does not start until August. Calm down. Relax. It's okay. Javarius Johnson caught like 16 passes last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's not saying he's not talented. 16 people, calm down. It's okay.
Alabama got 16 kids in the portal since November. 16. They put 16 dudes in the portal.
And we've had 19. We have 3 more than Alabama, but our program's in the toilet. Now, again, I get it. There are other things going on. I'm just saying I ain't panicking over the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah. And only 3 dudes in. 16 out, 3 in. So, I mean, this is Lane Kiffin, I think, has the most in our league. He's got hella dudes in the portal, man. He's in the 20s.
And he's gotten a lot of dudes back out of. Listen, there's only so many scholarships you can give out every year. There's only so many. Like we're not gonna have. It's just I just need people, and then all of these folks who are like, well, what kind of quality are you gonna get after the spring game? I remind everyone, and I talked to Mike G about this earlier. He knows what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one question for everybody. Who was the leading receiver for Alabama last year?
Was it James?
It was Jamison Williams. When did Jamison Williams get to Tuscaloosa last year?
After spring.
Spring.
Yeah.
It is not impossible to improve your football team after spring. Calm down. They just hired a buttload of new recruiting staff at Auburn. Mm-hmm. Their entire goal is, I see where this is going. Okay, cool. Let me get some more people down here so that we can evaluate more players and figure out how we're going to get more talent here in Auburn. Calm down. Now, I know you're going to hear all this and you're going to call me a sunshine pumper. And you're going to be like, but what about all this other stuff? I don't care. I don't really care. I didn't say that it was fabulous. I just said it's not going to hell like you assume it is. Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
All right.
But the ledge is close. Can I jump?
By all means, I just ain't joining you on your league. That's all I'm saying. As many people as they want to can jump off of whatever ledge you want to. Do not ask me to join you. And if I do, I guarantee you I got a parachute.
We can hold hands while we jump together.
Yeah, you would just better hope that my parachute holds both of us.
Whoa.
And again, I don't need to compare us to anybody else. You can go look program for program across the country. The same thing is happening. You got to chill out, man. There's a lot of time between now and when we have to start playing football. There's a lot of time for this thing to go in the right direction. I'm just saying I'm not panicking on February 2nd. I'm just not.
Yeah, I feel that. Listen, I feel that. It's there's a lot out there in the Twitterverse, and everybody, like, how many text messages did I get today when people are like, are we going to get somebody today? Are we going to land somebody today? If people are freaking out about that, I mean, the flimsiest things to turn into panic, I don't buy it. Like, I just think that's how we end up like Tennessee.
But here's my thing. What benefit does it do for the football program for me to freak out? Like, why do y'all want me to be upset about all of it? Like, if I hit the panic button, all of a sudden Auburn starts to get it into gear. Wait, hold on. Wait. I thought we were good until Isaac panicked. Oh, we got to change it. I'm just not there with y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, again, if we lose in football games, then we got something to talk about. I'm not upset about. I'm not upset today.
Oh, that's so funny.
B, what season is it?
It's basketball season.
Okay, just want to clarify. I was just curious. Did you have any thoughts about this? About signing day? About Javarius Johnson? Do you have any thoughts you have? Anything you want to expound on before we get to the test?
What's in your soul?
Did we see this coming? No, we didn't see it coming. I'm still not. I can't say I'm not concerned, because here's the negative of our transfer portal season as a football team is that we've lost guys who projected to be starters next season. That's what raised my antenna. It's not that we lost guys. It's that we lost guys who, when the season ended, we said, oh, he's coming back, Lee Hunter. Oh, he's going to be starting next season.
I didn't
Javarius
think Lee
Johnson.
Hunter was going to be a starter.
I thought he might be, but
I thought
So-
he get playing time, but
I thought he was going to contribute. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
So when we lose guys who we figure are going to be in the mix, who we didn't see a lot of or we didn't see enough of, and those are the guys that leave, I'm a little concerned. But outside, I'm see Lee Hunter, Javarius Johnson. Is there anybody else who we thought, man, he was going to be a big time contributor? Kobe leaving was a big deal, but the reasons he left, I understand. You know, it makes a little more sense. So those three players probably are the biggest. Man, we lost those guys. At the same time, I know how stacked we are on the defensive line. So Lee Hunter leaving doesn't feel like it's big of a loss. We had a lot more experience in front of him. So I get that. Javarius Johnson is a question mark. That's the who, huh? Like, you were in line, buddy. You were starting. You were catching some long passes when our QBs could get it to you. You want to leave? Why would you want to leave? What happened between the end of the season and now, where the very last day you put your name in that portal? So somebody's still fishing, recruiting. It's happening. People are saying we've never had no signees on signing day. Did we have a transfer portal like this and NIL at the same time any other year? This is completely untreaded territory. Like, this is all completely brand new.
Right.
I'm not freaking out at all. I'm like, man, that sucks because I wanted to see what he could do, but we've still got so much talent in the wide receiver room. We didn't see DeVar Dawson all year last year, and we saw him again. What ended up being the biggest miss in my mind of the Birmingham Bowl was him beating a dude by like 3 steps and not getting hit with the ball. I want to see that dude, and he plays the same position as JJ. You know what? DeVar Dawson got to be like, lunchtime, man. I'll see you later. Appreciate you. It's plenty of opportunities here, man. Shedrick Jackson, I know, I get it. Nobody in the wide world of Auburn football really loves Shedrick Jackson, but I love what Shedrick Jackson brought to the team because he improved so much.
Yeah, he did. And listen,
For
I was the biggest Shedrick Jackson critic that exists out of the four of us. I think I gave him the heart. He played well at the end of this season.
He did play well at the end of
You
the season.
gave him a nickname that still haunts him to this day.
And I've not uttered that nickname the entirety of this season. Y'all keep saying it in the chat.
You're right. They holding you down on that name, Mike. You ain't got to say nothing forever.
Yeah, there's enough reason to be. You would raise your eyebrow a little bit, but the way I look at this right now, whether it's the transfer portal or the staff turnover or any of that, is this really is like year one, part 2, is what it's shaping up to be. Harsin now has every guy that he brought in here for a specific purpose that had a certain role prior to being at Auburn. Now they've got those roles. I think this is what he wanted in the first place. Everything is now what Brian Harsin wanted it to be coming in here outside of OC. And I don't think that was something that you could predict or prevent. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Year one, part 2. Do we like it? No. I'm sure it would be a lot different if there wasn't a transfer portal where guys could just jump, or coaches were tampering and trying to get guys that were on your team and happy, and they can get in their ear like, man, you can get some more burn over here. I think Mississippi State's most productive wide receiver was in the portal. He went to Ole Miss too. He's committed to Ole Miss today. Lane's working. That's what's going on. If JJ's going to Ole Miss, Lane's working. He got Jackson Dart, got that tight end. Lane's working. Everybody's working in a brand new way. And this is the game. We are not going to have the type of offseason and signing day and momentum that people want to have until you give the coach the time with his guys and his players to play his brand of football. Until that happens, we're going to be questioning why the offseason looks the way it does. But honestly, man, outside of very, very stacked circumstances with really, really big name teams, like we saw what Jimbo did over the course of this signing day or signing season, yeah, that's a big deal because that's it. It's not one 5-star dude. It's like 6, 7 of them. Yeah, you can buy guys now. And they bought a whole staff of a whole roster. And it looks
Jimbo
great.
says
It looks great for them, and I get it. We're looking at all of our rivals. You saw Alabama play for another natty, Georgia win one, and then A&M win the recruiting championship, and we're like, where's ours? You got to wait. Those recruiting championships aren't what they seem. When's the last time Ohio State won something?
Yeah.
Ohio State gets better talent than anybody in the country, honestly. They have more consistent starting talent in the NFL than anybody. They have won 0 championships in the last 8 years. 7 years. And that one that they won, honestly, do you realize how stacked that team was? Listen, it is difficult, even with the talent, to make it happen on the field. You have to have excellent coaching. Nick Saban has proven he can build and maintain excellent staffs. Kirby has as well. Y'all know how I feel about Jimbo. He ain't proving nothing to me. He went 8-4 last year. 8-4. All that talent, all that consistency and continuity. 8-4. Yeah, we'll get down the line with Jimbo later. We got time. We got time. I know y'all don't want to wait. You got to wait because this is what it's like when you reset. And honestly, I would still rather reset than be this poor. Realistically, competitively, we weren't less competitive last year than we had been in years past. We weren't. We didn't lose games by that much when we lost. We lost more games than we wanted to lose, but I would rather be doing this than continuing a losing cycle with Gus Malzahn because those are your options. Will you want to keep Gus and stay on that cycle, or you want to hit the reset button and watch it all new? I'd rather watch it new. Give the dude his time. We'll be fine.
Let's go ahead and grab some supers. There's a lot we can talk about. I'll just say this. I don't think we've seen what Harsin can do just yet to even judge.
We haven't. No.
And we hit the reset button during a time where college football actually flipped on its head, like with NIL and the transfer portal. Nothing looks the same. So we're just going to have to brace ourselves because it's going to be a fun ride. But I don't think
Definitely going to be interesting. A lot of talked about.
We don't have to attribute everything that goes wrong. College football is not the same college football we've been watching. Like guys can get up and leave whenever they have the idea now. So that's just the college football we got to deal with now. All right. Riley M says, if you had to choose football or basketball success, what would it be? I would go football just because we understand with football success comes serious dollars and money. As much as I'm enjoying the basketball success, we know financially what it means for this program and university when the football team succeeds. But what say you guys?
I'm going to go football success. Got to be football success. I mean, for the money. I mean, it's just the money.
It's the money.
It's the money.
The money.
Right.
I mean, I'm enjoying.
Basketball will never produce $100 million top line here. Football definitely already does. So, like, I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah. If you had to choose.
Yeah, I'm picking football.
What about you, B? You seem like you're gonna answer anytime before Ike does. What you got?
We heard about how important basketball was to the state of Kentucky when they were talking about poaching our coach in Louisville or Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. Basketball is important to them because once upon a time they were good at it, and it became important to them because they were good at it. It's not important to us because we had never been that good at it. Football is a way of life down here. But if you get really good at it, you'd be surprised how things can change quickly. You stop settling for Tony Barbie after you've had 15 years of Bruce Pearl. You win the SEC, maybe like 5 out of the last 10 years he coached before he rides off into the sunset, and you win 2 national championships in that time and make like 4 Final Fours. And then basketball takes on an importance that it didn't have before. And then it can make you that money. Those deep tournament runs, every time you win another game in the tournament, money in your pocket. It's like bowl games is what the tournament games are. It's money in your pocket. It is possible through the momentum we're seeing now, if we sustain success, reach multiple Final Fours, win a couple of championships, basketball could absolutely be the moneymaker that football is here. But I couldn't rub that in the Bammers' faces like I can football. Man, it's got to be football. You don't think I want to take a 9-win team, an 8-win team, and beat Bama when they thought they were playing for a national championship and say, I'm so sorry. Y'all going to be at home, my boy. I want that. That's what I want. I want that. I want my cousin and my friends in my group messages all worried and upset. Man, I don't know, man. We don't look good. Because they lose to us and we got 3 losses that year. I want that. I want that. Yeah, I want that. Football.
All right.
I just want to be good. You're not finna force me to pick, so I want to be good at everything.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Mr. Gibson says, I want to hear all 4 opinions. Are these transfers because of Malzahn's soft culture, or is Harsin creating a negative environment? I don't think it's the latter. I don't necessarily think it's the latter. I don't have evidence to suggest it's the latter.
I think it feels negative because the people in there who feel that way are going to feel that way.
Yeah,
you know,
I think anytime you have a coach comes in with a brand new culture, there will be a purge. And again, factor in the timing of the transfer portal. Like you have schools like Bama. How many years has Saban been there?
15? Is it 15?
Since 2007.
2007, 15 years, and they have how many people in transfer portal? Just 3 less than we do.
16.
And they went to the national championship game. So some of it is kids.
We're not allowed to compare us to Alabama because apparently you can't compare yourselves to them. So
whatever.
I thought it was all football, but apparently there's other people, and I don't know.
But my point is, if kids want to leave, they're going to leave, whether things are good or whether things are bad. We just don't know. What was the receiver we got from Texas? He was in the last recruiting class and was at Auburn a good week.
Hal Presley.
Yeah, Presley.
Hal Presley. Like, we don't know what these kids are going to do from one minute to the next. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. We're talking about. Huh?
Did he play last year somewhere?
No, he left as soon as he got here for.
No, I'm saying did he play when at the school he went to?
I don't know.
Did he go to TCU or
somewhere in Texas? Yeah, I forgot. But yeah.
So that's all I'm saying is that these are kids at the end of the day. So the moment they feel like they want to leave, they can go. And there's not much here to keep them intact. So I think there's a lot of it going on. I mean, whether it's guys from the previous regime or guys just want to leave, we don't know. Like, it's a mixture of a lot of it. So I didn't know if you guys had anything else to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's definitely a mixed bag. I'd hesitate to say that it's a negative environment. It's just not one that is a fit for that particular student athlete.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative. But again, I don't patrol the halls of the athletic department. I don't know what people are feeling in the football facility.
Right.
There are people who have had negative things to say when they leave Auburn, but do you expect them to have a bunch of positive things to say and they left? Like, so I just don't know how much, like you ask my ex-girlfriend, is he a good dude? She gonna tell you a bunch of negative stuff about me.
It's your ex.
That's just how it goes. Like, it ain't too many of them situations where we broke up but he was the greatest guy in the world. Well, why you left?
Mm-hmm.
So right. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the answer to that question. Again, we talked about this on one of the previous lives. I'd hesitate to say that the culture was soft. I just think it was uneven under Coach Malzahn, where some players were getting preferential treatment. By all indications, Brian Harsin just ain't a preferential dude. He don't care who you are. You got to come work.
And he prefers work and effort.
If you don't want to work, you're not going to play. It is just like some people want to be able to say, well, coach, I could ball. Let me ball. And he's like, that's great. But about this playbook, that's great. But about this attitude, right. That's great. But about this film session, like, we going to run these sprints. Are you giving 100% on this sprint? Then what makes me think that in the fourth quarter, when I need you to run full speed for this, go route, that you're going to give me that effort? Right. Again, does that mean it's a negative culture? I don't
It's
know.
different.
It's just
different.
it's just different. It's just different, and people
just
have to either adjust or figure out this ain't for me.
Right.
Yeah. Dorian Hurd, just to clarify, the medicine will be needed because of the type of fans Ike is talking about. Yeah. Well, they need a lot of them need the medicine. Cleveland Brown, another AU player hits the portal. Is this one on Mike G2?
I swear to God, bro. Let me tell
That's
you,
funny.
because if you ask some of these people on Twitter, me alone ran off Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I led the band that drove Bo out of town. Give me a fucking break. These people are so.
Hey
damn
man, we
stupid.
want to stay monetized, brother.
Yes.
It was people are so stupid, man. Like I just the whole fan thing. You guys know I've been defending the fan base for the last 2 months. We have, it's funny depending on what side you're sitting on. Talk to Bruce Pearl and the basketball players right now. We got the greatest fans in the world. The greatest. They're being hailed as saviors, from the Twitter mob thing. Bama tried to shut off their comments last night. AU Twitter said,
we definitely got to talk about that.
AU Twitter is like, we ain't having it. Come on, man. Our fans are fantastic. They have high expectations, so they want to win. They have those expectations haven't been there on the basketball side, but you can damn sure be sure that it's going to be there now. The bar is being raised. We're not going to go back to accepting,
Right.
hey, we're suddenly not good at basketball anymore. Not if you're going to keep making Final Fours for the next 10 years. So, I don't know, man. It's funny to say that, but the portal thing, you guys surmised everything like perfectly. All I'm saying is the portal thing is happening everywhere. There's a lot that changed in college football in a short amount of time with NIL and then the transfer portal, and then all of a sudden it's this whole new world. And if you didn't see it, I highly suggest you go look at the clip of Jimbo Fisher going off on Josh Pate. And he was mad, and he just said, listen, this money that's flying around because it's not coming from the university has nothing to do with the work that my staff did on the recruiting trail. Because you're not selling kids NIL in their homes. Bruce Pearl mentioned it during our interview with him. We said, hey, coach, how you feel about NIL? He said, listen, man, this isn't pay for play. So I can point at a guy like Jabari Smith and say, okay, you can, if you're as good as Jabari, you can have the same thing he got. He got a shoe deal, I believe.
Yeah.
But that can't be a reason that someone comes to your school that you can sell. Really, all you can do is just point to the things that others have achieved under your tutelage and at your university. That's just recruiting. The NIL,
which is why what Jimbo said is bull, because what has he had people achieve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, whatever. But my point is, with any good team that is good consistently, there is a product that the coach puts on the field, and ultimately in this new era of college football, the product that you put on the field is going to make the value of those NIL deals worth what they're worth. Go try to get an NIL deal at Vanderbilt right now for football. If you will play on that football team, who's paying attention to that? But Bryce Young is making $1 million. Texas, they're like, they got deals for all the offensive linemen, like starting at $50K. The brand is big, right? It's either overwhelmingly big, or you're putting a product on the field that makes the value of that potential NIL deal more than it could be someplace else. It all comes back to winning. That's all I'm saying. So the portal will take care of itself if you win. Guys are still going to come and they're still going to go. You had two teams that just played in the national title in our conference, and they are still feeling the effects of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
4 and 5 star players just saying, peace, I'm out. I'm going to go play someplace else.
One dude won the national championship at Georgia and went to the team he beat.
That exactly. Literally went to the team he beat.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you make of this?
I don't even understand how you do that.
What do
he
you
was
make?
like, hey, I know I beat y'all last year, bro, but you know what I'm saying? You need me.
For some of these decisions, y'all, let's not try to figure it out. Like it doesn't.
Homie was like, we pulled it off this year with Stetson, but I'm liking Bryce Young next year, so I'm gonna head on over here to Bama. I'm head out.
All right, I'm heading
That's
out.
hilarious to me, though. I'm like,
makes
hey, man,
sense,
Stetson,
though.
bro, you
He was
won,
on the
bro, but you
sideline
know,
like, I like how he throw the ball.
I don't know, man. Stetson was okay, but that Bryce Young dude.
It makes sense when you think about I need to be prolific in order to get my draft stock up. Because at Georgia, could I win again? Sure. But Stetson Bennett is coming back.
I mean,
Y'all
but they
gonna
not
run the
throwing the
ball.
ball for real. That's
Exactly.
the problem.
They're not throwing the ball.
They're not throwing the
Y'all
ball.
gonna run the
Yeah.
ball. So if I go to Bama, I know they got the QB. They willing to sling it.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
And
Listen,
who
I
just
got
went
my
pro?
ring, bro. I
And-
need these stats.
And who just went pro?
Yeah, they just lost their number one. I'm about to get paid.
Yeah. So again,
That's
again,
funny to me. I'm
But
sorry.
that makes sense. Like this is why I don't get and try to get into the heads of these young kids. They got their
Yeah.
own agenda, their own reasons for leaving their own programs. You think it would make sense to stay, but they got their reasons.
Yeah, but if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure I have zero effect on any kid deciding to do anything. Right? You know, if anything, I might be able to convince their parents to do something. Right? Like, hey, watch the show, become a patron member. Right?
Bo Nix, is this
Like
Bo
that-
Nix calling me?
That level of stuff, but bruh, I'm telling you, I heard and I'm sure whoever put that comment up probably has seen some of the Twitter comments, or if you go to there's this one particular terrorist in the in the locked on comment section, and they're just, I mean, everything I say, right? He watches every Wednesday just to be like, Mike G is a clown, see? Right? Oh, like, yo, bro, like, you got some serious anger issues. But
Gotta commit to the hate.
yeah,
I respect that commitment. To the hate.
it's a serious commitment. I mean,
is.
Oh yeah,
It is.
no
He
off days, no
yeah,
off days.
he's yelling at the wall in our comment section for sure, but over there, his voices are heard. And I'm
He's
like,
yelling
yo,
on the other side of that brick wall behind you.
Yeah, I know you hear me, Mike.
He's banging on. He's
Right. Give a break, bro.
right. Real quick, guy. Let's move through these. Jazzy Joe,
Hey.
Hey,
challenge
man.
complete.
What?
KD, he's like his average is 13.2. He had 13. Fell
Was
a
that
little
your player?
short.
Was that your
That
player?
was Ike's. I think that was
Yeah.
was it Ike's?
All right.
Yeah.
That was your player.
So-
I had Kessler.
Yeah,
forgot
you
what
had.
I
I talked you into Kessler.
Yeah,
Kessler,
we did.
Kessler,
Yeah.
great number. We'll talk about him.
Big sexy
Smile,
king.
my brother. Close your eyes and say it with me, guys. Basketball. Basketball.
He
I
agreed. though.
agree. Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
Thanks. For sure, Jazzy. Appreciate you, sir.
Wait, wait,
Auburn. What?
Go ahead, go.
What you
No.
got?
No. I was gonna say before we get to that, right? We're gonna address this, but I just want to make sure everybody knows what this is and who he works for.
Okay.
I was talking to Ike about this. There's a lot of confusion about NIL. I'm gonna clear the air on some of this.
Okay. Auburn Stuff says there are some horrendously malignant football takes out there, gents. The post-traumatic stress from the 20-year roller coaster is real and deep.
Yeah.
War
so-
Eagle, well said. I agree wholeheartedly with that, good sir.
Mhm.
Lawrence Robinson says, Harsin did say, do you want it now or do you want it right when he came into Auburn?
He did
Hey.
say that. He
Hey,
did say
man.
that.
He's not
Man.
one to rush for sure.
He's a prophet.
Rick says transfer portal is 10 plus average nationwide. Was not a Mason fan or hater, but he told his players a story about taking time off. I'm okay with him gone.
That's a very sound take.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all. That's
sure.
too much common sense in those
Yeah.
2 lines.
For sure. Lee Ban says, thank y'all for speaking some sense into these folks.
They're
Bruh.
not gonna listen.
Yeah.
Anybody who had their mind up before me making those statements was 100% sitting here talking about I am a fool. Like they everything I just said, they was like, I hear you, Ike, but you're an idiot. I
Right.
got it. Like I ain't convinced nobody of nothing.
Mhm. I
Jazzy,
would
go ahead, Mike.
No, I would just say there's just a lot of takes out there, and what I'm finding is people come to us on social media and here on the show because nobody knows what to believe. So you want to talk to somebody who's at least a little in the know, but understands the nuance and is not agenda driven, right? So I would just say be careful about, once everybody starts, saying something picks fire, catches on. I'm like, okay, I want to trust but verify, but I'm just going to verify. And we have a talk, and you Google what you can, and you have some conversations, and you just try to come to a consensus. And most of the time, when this stuff comes to my ear, there's people completely overreacting to something, and so we're quiet, right? And a lot. I mean, we've been through this on this show with people. Tank's gone, and we just sat here, all four of us. We're like, yeah, well, I don't think this is the same as Bo. So, like, maybe we should just wait to see if Tank is actually gone. Turns out Tank was staying. A lot of people had egg on their face because, they jumped the gun on that. So I would just be wary. One of the things that's happening, there's Twitter, but Twitter is very public and it's very out there.
Right.
The new thing are these Discord channels and you got the On3 boards, and you got all these boards. And people go to these boards, and I would just be wary of anybody in those forums saying one thing, driving panic behind the scenes. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and
it's contagious, guys. It's contagious. It catches on like wildfire.
My issue is not even the driving of the panic behind the scenes. It's the driving of the panic behind the scenes, but then the public show of support in front of it.
In front of the scenes.
Why are you having this duality where, like, on spaces where you're in front of people, you aren't doing that? Like, just be the same person. Listen, you're not going to get different takes from me about stuff. How I feel about a thing is how I feel about it. If I was right, I will make sure you knew I was right. If I was wrong, I will come on here and be like, you know what? I screwed that one up. That was nowhere close to right.
Yeah, man.
But if you've been listening to us, we would say, listen, you know what? We've been giving Shad a hard time. This boy is balling now.
Balling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I want to be wrong if I said somebody ain't good and they're on our team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. A lot of good things happen on some of these message boards because they do form community, and for the people who interact civilly with each other, it can be a good thing. Right. JG had a bunker legend that passed away recently. And he had confided in his community that he was having a hard time, and the bunker kind of rallied around this dude. And there's the good side of that kind of stuff. But there's always anybody who is overly negative all the time. I'm just like, listen, at the end of the day, it's hard for me to find objectivity in that. Sometimes the sky is falling. Let's make it clear. Sometimes panic is warranted. I just don't think this is one of those times. Yeah. And right now, I'm super wary of anybody super pushing. What Ike said. One thing, I support Coach, but then in every forum, you're running around telling people, see, people can't work with Hartson, and you're perpetuating every known negative perception about this man.
Right.
Stop. Please stop. Right. He's trying to do a job. I want to be behind him. I think we can question things, what we see. There's nothing wrong with questions, but it just reaches a level where it's really just kind of like, I don't know what you're doing there. This is year one.
And the question should come from things that are known, right? I'm not speculating or interjecting something that I have no knowledge or proof of. It's based on what we're seeing, either on the field or certain decisions that he's making, right? But but to your point, if I'm talking about things that aren't proven, are just speculation, then it gets to be ridiculous. We can criticize him on what we know. The losses, we can talk about that. Mm-hmm. We can talk about that. That happened, right? But other things is just not cool. Let me grab this one last super chat. We'll get to the break. Jazzy Joe says basketball has fans loving all Auburn sports. Football can't do that. I don't know. I understand your point.
There might be some truth to that.
Yeah,
there's some truth to that because basketball runs into the spring where all your other sports tend to kick off. So the excitement and that can catch on, whereas football almost runs by itself in the fall. I get that.
Yeah.
So I think there is some truth to that. So
the Olympic sports tend to stick together anyway, right? Like there's something about those Olympic sports, and I think there's truth to that. I think this is a new kind of excitement.
Yeah.
And you know what? The other thing about basketball too is because every other sport plays more frequently than football.
Right.
Right. So, even gymnastics, man. I mean, they out here more than football, like sooner. After every meet, you see them, and there's just a lot. I mean, this is exciting. This is really exciting what's happening with Auburn Sports right now, honestly. Our basketball team is great, and the support of other sports, right? So you got softball players at basketball games, and, you got Suni Lee out here stumping for them. They're at the gymnastics meets. This is a pretty special thing that's going on here right now. I'm digging it. I wish we had something. The closest we had to that was 2004 when we were on campus.
Yeah,
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
But, because 2003 men's basketball team had made the Sweet 16. So there was a little bit of hype around it, but it's nothing like this.
Nothing. Yeah, man. But so fun times, man. And speaking of which, we'll get into basketball. We'll talk a little bit more about NIL. I'll be sure to bring that back up, Mike G, towards the end. Let's go ahead and get those thumbs up if you're watching. If you haven't been commenting, please be sure to smash that like button, guys. Get the likes up for us. We greatly appreciate it. Let's pause to acknowledge some of the sponsors of the War Report.
The War Report's Wednesday Night War Room is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn Sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. University Ace Hardware, located at 2101 East University Drive in Auburn, Alabama, right across the street from the Auburn Mall and next to the movie theater. For all of your hardware needs, Ace is the place. And our giveaway sponsor, GWT2 Energy. If you want the best in the business at restaurant logistics, check out our friends at GWT2Energy.com.
Hey, become a patron. This is a great way to support our content, guys. We are doing some great things at the War Report here. It's basketball season. We got a lot of good content coming at you guys. Become a patron member. Help support our content. Go check out that interview we did with Bruce Pearl. It's a good reason why you should become a patron. Your support helps us get more interviews like that, definitely. So we appreciate everybody who's going to do that. We are partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. You guys know the deal. Help us hashtag save all the puppies. You can find this link in the about section on our YouTube channel. 50 cents on every dollar goes to them to help them save all the puppies. We're giving away an AAU t-shirt, hashtag get your weight up, sponsored by GWT2 Energy Consulting Services. So hashtag get your weight up in the comments right now to enter. We're going to draw in about 15 minutes. We're on podcasts, guys. Every single podcast platform. Brian is putting out more tasty podcast content for you guys. So get yourself a slice of that and leave us a review while you're doing it. Download, subscribe, review, help us climb the podcast charts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let's talk basketball. We Auburn family had a great night last night. Because Auburn swept Bama to the lovely tune. They dropped a honey on them. They dropped a century on Bama. Guys, how we feeling about this, man? Like, Bama had just beaten Baylor. They was riding high. They wanted to come in. They were motivated for us, but how we feel about beating a team which people are saying that Bama will still get in the tournament. They do have some impressive wins, but how do we feel about beating a team the way that we did on our home court?
Let me tell you something. That win was satisfying. It's satisfying because, God, if you spend any time on like Auburn Twitter, Bama fans really hate the joy that we have. Over basketball right now.
Yeah.
They hate it.
My God.
They hate it because they lost the national title to Stetson Bennett, to Mr. Regular himself. And then we kicked their butts at basketball in their house, made them think they could win, and took it away. And then they come down to our house, and the number one team in the nation wipes the floor with your literal ass. Guys, I It felt really, really good. And we're calling this the Iron Bowl of basketball, but this is starting to take on some meaning now. Auburn is number 1. Bama was ranked as high as number 6 at some point. So they don't like to admit it, but there is definitely some disappointment around the fact that this team is not as good as they thought they were. Mm-hmm. Now, some Gonzaga fans found my Twitter last night, and I tweeted something. It wasn't crazy, and it wasn't me just taking a super shot at them, but I said, "Hey guys, like we're scrubbing Bama right now. Like this Alabama team beat Baylor and Gonzaga." And I'm starting to think that those teams are just not that good. Now, I don't know whether that was a fair statement or not. The Gonzaga fans sure didn't think so. And he was like, we're a better team now than we were then. I was like, you know what? That's a fair point because I can say the same thing for Auburn. We definitely are a better team.
That's factual.
But I would argue that we've tested ourselves much more since then than they have.
Oh, for sure.
To know that we're a better team now than that we were when we lost to UConn. So I followed the dude. He followed me back. There's a happy ending to this story, I promise. It didn't get contentious. It was just like, hey, listen, I said, hey, that's fair. If I don't follow enough Gonzaga basketball to say that you have not improved, thank you for not telling me about my team, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for not telling me Auburn is not as good. The truth is we don't know.
Right.
I think it would be a hell of a game, right? So it ended friendly. One of his buddies tried to jump in and start an argument, but we had already made peace. And I was just kind of taken back. So this win meant something. Now, I will tell you, I did have, I'll talk about that later, but yeah, it meant something. This was a meaningful and a sweep and broom, Bruce Pearl got the broom from a student and was like, yeah, bitches.
Well,
right? Yeah,
he crane kicked and
Yeah.
then grabbed the broom.
Oh my God, he was going off. Tell me that didn't mean something. Look at the coach celebrating with the kids and tell me that didn't mean something. That was amazing. And to do it, listen, when they got 81 instead of 80, I was mad because I wanted it to be 20. I called a blowout. I said blowout. I want them blown out and off the floor. They delivered. I love it.
Speaking of a person delivering, let's talk about player of the game. It was a close one this go round. Mm-hmm. Some very, very, very productive guys. Mike G, who is it?
Big Sexy. Where are you? There you go. My guy.
Yeah, man. Walker Kessler almost had another triple dub. 14 points, 6 of 9, 12 boards, 1 assist, 4 steals, 8 blocks. There's no telling how many shots he altered. There's no stat for that, but it had to be if that was a stat, he probably would have had a triple-double. He was just occupying the paint and just giving Bama a hard time. Bama had 22 points in the paint, I believe. And he played a major part of it. Guys, Walker got to play this game. He wasn't in foul trouble, and we saw the impact. Like I personally felt like watching Walker Kessler and B and Ike, you can jump in. I felt like watching him and watching, guys like Shackelford and Quinterly get theirs. I realized, Bama's not really getting much on the inside. We can almost let these two go off and defend everyone else, and we still win by at least 10. That's where that game was going. Of course, there was some dry spells in there with us scoring, but at the rate we were going, I felt comfortable with how Walker Kessler was defending versus what everyone else on Bama's team was doing. I never felt like they was going to overtake us, even with their runs. But what do you guys think?
They're exactly what Ike said they were all season.
They are a streaky jump shooting team.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me say this and be very clear about it for any Alabama fan out there. I'm going to say 2 things. I'm going to hurt your feelings, then I'm going to give you a little salve. All right. First and foremost, you're lying to yourselves if you say you don't care, because the only reason you don't care is because you're lost. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's be clear about that.
Big
Because
facts.
in the preseason, I watched you talk mad junk about how Bama was going to be a better basketball team than Auburn this year. I watched you do this. After you beat Gonzaga, I watched you celebrate how good your basketball team was and how y'all were going to be good in basketball and football. I watched you do this. And now all of a sudden, when you got drummed, man, but we still, football, the only thing actually matters.
Football.
You are salty. Why is there so much salt out here on the internet these days? It was a whole bunch of salt in Kentucky, and then it's a salt storm made its way down to Tuscaloosa.
Number one
I don't
exporter.
understand what's happening.
Salt Lake.
Stop being salty. Just say, you know what? You guys have a really good basketball team this year. And have the most insufferable football fan base to ever exist has the nerve to say that Auburn's basketball fan base is like some come lately, like most of y'all cannot name a player on the Shula football team. Can't name them.
Right.
But you want to say we're front runners. Stop.
We were just in the Final Four too.
Get help. Get help.
I don't understand that argument.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be sad that your basketball team is just kind of okay. Here's the part where I'm nice to you. Got a lot of talent on that back. Javon Quinterly is a baller. For sure. Boy can just straight up, like he could just straight up hoop, bro. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
He's a baller.
He is one of the more complete guards in the nation because he can shoot it from the outside. He can distribute. He can get to the lane at will. He finishes really well with both hands. Quinterly can ball. Shackelford can ball. He's a little streaky. He takes some bad shots, but the boy can shoot. He can definitely finish when he gets to the lane. His defense a little but he can hoop, right? Like but that's kind of where it stops on your squad. Keon Ellis he's cool. Like he can shoot a little bit too, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all the rest of them are scrubs, but the issue is it really stops after about 2 or 3 dudes.
Yeah.
I tweeted this last night. I scored as many points last night as JD Davidson did.
Oh, bro. JD Davidson.
JD
Davidson.
Let's talk about this.
He was getting fried on
The
Twitter.
memes
Oh, the memes were epic.
delicious.
They
They
so
were
epic.
amazing.
Extra
Fried
baked,
hard.
toasty, deep fried.
3-piece.
Oh my God.
With the white
Kentucky
bread.
fried.
Well, I was gonna say with the biscuit.
Oh. I was thinking Green Acres and BM, you know what I'm saying? You get that spice
16
bread.
herbs and spices.
So I'm just like, listen, I understand, but I mean, listen, that doesn't mean that Bama doesn't have a talented basketball team. That doesn't mean they won't be good next year. I'm just saying, take your L and calm down. Alabama men's basketball Twitter. What was that about? Come on, man. Let's be for real, bruh.
JD Davidson's stat line 0 for 5 for 0 points.
And
No
he has
rebounds.
looks. Like he had, it wasn't like he was forcing, like he had wide open looks.
4 assists, 1 steal, 0 blocks. I mean, 2 personal fouls. I mean, God, what a disappearing act. And they shot 35% from the field as a team. It was as low as like 22% at one point in the second, deep in the first half.
And that is the essential issue with Alabama basketball, right? Like, so let's take it out of number one. Y'all don't run sets. It's backyard hooping. Y'all just out there playing like you at the rec and throwing up shots. You think you the Golden State Warriors, but you ain't got that kind of heat, bro.
That's what Kentucky does. Calipari just gets better players. That's
right.
Really
so again, this is the problem with good basketball teams versus elite basketball teams is you don't just have talent, you also have coaching that can reset and recalibrate during a game to make sure that talent is being maximized. And that is what Coach Bruce Pearl is doing on a consistent basis. He's making sure, okay, you know what? This is, man, oh my God, I can't wait till we get into these basketball breakdowns. They talked about it during the broadcast. Be Will, you think I'm insufferable during a football game. You don't want to sit and watch basketball with me. The back screens that they started doing on the pick and roll action. So we got a high pick and roll with Walker Kessler. As he's rolling to the goal, they set a back screen on the guy who's supposed to be guarding the rim protection to throw the lob so Kessler can get around the backside. Now you've got a pin down in the corner because you got a shooter in the corner. You've got likely going to be Wendell Green rolling downhill off of a pick, and then Kessler running wide open to the lane. That's a smart move. He figured out, okay, Missouri showed y'all how to defend our pick and roll. Let me throw a wrinkle in it. How you going to defend this one? Mm-hmm. That's what good basketball coaching does for you.
Yes.
You understand what your talent is good at. They started throwing KD Johnson figured out how to throw a lob on the backside to Devin Cambridge last night, boy. I said, what? KD seeing the floor? If KD Johnson starts seeing, you're not gonna beat this team if they keep getting better like this. Is all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, it's
if they keep evolving, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, and still have not played a complete basketball game.
Last night was close, but still not a full complete. This is one of their closer games they're playing complete, and they scored 100 and not a complete game.
Yeah, listen.
Think about that. They scored 100 and not a complete game. That's scary.
Coaching. Bruce Pearl said, "Hey guys, stop settling for jump shots. They cannot not foul us.
Yeah,
they're fouling. We went to the free throw line in that game 39 times. We shot 79% from the free throw line. 31 field goals made. That is the primary reason we got to 100 because they just kept
hit
giving us
5
points.
3-pointers
out of 21.
Yeah, we shot.
23%.
It wasn't a great shooting night and still put up 100.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Not just that. And didn't shoot great from the free throw line. We got a lot of free throws and still missed a good amount of Jabari missed like 3 or 4 free throws last night.
That was bad. That was baffling. That was baffling.
They shot 80% from the free throw line.
I mean, it was. I'm just saying, like, I guess I'm just thinking specifically of Jabari. Like, I didn't expect Jabari.
Yeah, Jabari stood out for me,
and I was like, bro, what is happening?
Yeah.
Now I know
we still put up 100.
I know we keep saying this, but I got to tell you, I have been feeling like Kessler is a great free throw shooter, and now I looked at his percentages. But doesn't it feel like he makes every free throw?
He's gotten better. He's gotten better. He's got better as the season goes on.
He has not been going to the line as frequently later in the season. He was going a lot more earlier, and he was struggling from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So he's going less, but he's making them more frequently now.
Okay, yeah, because I just he feels pretty automatic. Like I never worry about him making a free throw for some reason when he's up.
I mean, he's got a good shooting stroke, man. Yeah. Like he's hitting more threes now. He's more. I think this is the most if you watch Walker Kessler play the first 4 or 5 games of the season, he didn't look confident. He didn't really understand what his role was supposed to be offensively. Right. He was just kind of out there. His confidence is through the roof now, and he is hooping.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The chase down block he had last night, I was like, bro.
Yeah.
Number one, I honestly didn't think he was going to get there. I saw him closing, and I was like, he really got like an extra like couple of inches on his arm or something that he just randomly releases on some go-go gadget stuff. Like, I don't understand how he gets to some of these blocks, dog.
Yeah.
All right.
What stood out for me with that game, man, is I just real quick, 'cause I know we got to do the giveaway. Alabama was going to play us better than they played us last time because they got embarrassed at home. They really choked in the first game. Quinterly choked in the corner. They didn't play a great game with our most pivotal player on the bench. I knew they were going to give us a better game, but our team here at home, it's not the same thing, man. Like your shot was at Coleman Coliseum. That was your chance.
Right.
Y'all blew it, man. They came close. They were shooting real good. Wendell Green. I know Walker Kessler's the player of the game. Wendell Green
was hooping.
Sure.
He is the offense.
Mm-hmm.
He is the offense.
He changed
Walker
the
Kessler
complexion of that
is
game,
the most important player on defense. Wendell Green is the most important player on offense. The basketball Twitter account, Auburn's men's basketball, put together a little cut up of all the highlights of the game. And because I shared it in our Slack. And if you look through it, like 85% of those plays is Wendell Green making something happen. On a pass, on a lob, on by himself, just cooking somebody and just a little fallback jump shot. That is the most important player on offense. Without him, we'd probably look a lot more like Bama. Katie just trying to cook somebody. Jabari just trying to go one-on-one. Flanagan just trying to go one-on-one. Like that. That's what we would look like without Wendell. So glad we got Kessler. Glad we got Wendell Green. No, man. That's 1 and 2. The two most important players to this team are Kessler and Wendell Green.
The beautiful layup that he got fouled on where he ended up flexing.
Smacked in the face and didn't get fouled. But
man,
hold up, bro. Like Walker Kessler got cheated out a couple blocks last night on some bogus whistles, man.
He did. He did. That's a fact.
But Wendell Green got a right hook or a left hook to the jaw, and
he got smacked up pretty good.
He got punched in the face. That was a punch, man. I can't believe they didn't call that. He was on the ground like ref, really?
Right. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get to this giveaway. You guys know what it is. We're giving away this AU t-shirt. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments if you want to enter to win. Ike, how we looking, sir?
93. Y'all was on it today.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Some people got on late. We got a lot of people get on late. Hashtag get your weight up in the comments. Yeah. Get in this thing, man. Let's jump real quick here, guys.
Let's do it.
Get your spelling up, too. Oh.
Who we got?
Hey, that's a new
This
one.
is a new one. This is a new name.
Goodbye MSI. Goodbye MSI. Like you threw away your MSI computer. Tell me that's right. Tell me I nailed that. That is the nerdiest name ever, if I'm right. So you got to be here.
Yeah.
Got to be here.
Yeah, we can watch your chat.
Y'all let me know if you see them. Let me run through some super chats real quick, guys. Jonathan Harris says, I'm just ready to roll with what we got. I think Calzada is a tough dude. I have a lot of respect for him. I am excited about him. He looks like a bigger Stidham. Our O-line has improved. He should help us out a lot. I'm eager to see
hope
what
our
he looks
O-line
like.
is improved. I don't know.
Hey, listen, if it's
They
going to
got
be
better as the year went on.
It's
in some aspects,
bro.
It's going to be better than what he played behind it at Texas A&M. Yeah, they were one of the worst in pass protection in our league. I think they were, as a matter of fact, I think they were either third or they were the worst. Because I remember Bama had the second to worst pass protection in the league. And A&M, he was running all over the place for his life last year. So
For sure.
at our blocking rates, he should be just fine.
You nailed it.
You threw out your MSI computer. You were so
hilarious.
Happy. You made that on YouTube, man. That's funny.
Well, listen, you know what to do with your new computer. You can email business@thewar report. Please give us your physical address as well as your t-shirt size.
Yeah, don't forget your t-shirt size. Maybe one of these days we'll give away an MSI and we'll make you whole.
If they partner with us, we want money. MSI, thank you.
MSI, you hear that?
Absolutely.
So, otherwise, we're giving away Dells. Your mortal enemy.
You have to say it like that. Sherman, appreciate you, bro. Jabari looks like the #1 pick in the draft. How you guys feeling about that?
Yes, 100%. Take him already.
Listen, that's a biased take for me. Because I hadn't watched enough other players that are considered to be high draft picks to
that's a homer
evaluate
take.
against him.
That's fair.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely one of those things where it's like I need to watch some of these other dudes to say, oh yeah, Jabari's head and shoulders above those guys.
Yeah.
But he could ball.
And going early.
We also haven't seen any. I haven't watched any of the G League guys. The guys who chose the G League over coming to college. Listen, I get it. Those guys are actually getting professional coaching in the affiliation of NBA teams right now. And they could be getting developed just as much as Jabari is getting developed right now. Because I think those guys, I'm thinking
They
like
ain't having as much fun though.
That's the difference.
Right.
That's the
Big
difference.
facts.
But a
Big
lot of those
facts.
guys who were in the G League last year, they are balling in the NBA this year. So I think maybe with development and recruitment from going right up to the pros, they probably are going to be giving G League guys a really, really hard look, because they have all play. I want to say for the most part, every guy, G League guy who got drafted last year is starting or contributing and looking really good when they contribute for their team. So
Yeah.
number one, maybe not, but I still think he's top 3.
Oh, he's going early. He's going really early. And it's going to be another good look for Auburn University, man. You know, Bruce Pro is going to be right there.
Man,
Jazzy
somebody
Joe
tried
says,
try to say some crap about like y'all. Want to see how y'all look when Jabari leaves next year. Good again. Shut up.
Yeah, listen. Okay, so
people just want to reduce it to just this year. Go ahead, Mike.
Can we talk about this for a second? Because this was a Bama fan was trying to tell me this as well. Like, you know, how many games do you think y'all will win without Jabari? And I'm like, a lot. Have you seen our team? Now I'm not going to act like he's not going. If not having him would have some sort of effect. But you know, this wasn't a Bama fan. This was a Kentucky fan after Ty went out, making this argument. And my point was like, hey, if the entirety of your ability to be able to win that game was based on that one player, you're not very deep. Which was the original comment was, you know, Kentucky has some depth issues. To fall off is that hard? Then yes, you have some depth issues, but that's not like a super insult. That's most college basketball teams, right? Like after the ones,
especially a
there's a drop
school
off
like
to
Kentucky, especially a school like Kentucky.
Yeah. So I mean, I know he's sad for him, but
I hate hearing this. You know how much I heard this after the Cam season? Well, if you already have Cam Newton, you mean if we didn't have a great player, we wouldn't be great? You think? What kind of stupid keep my monetization stuff is that to say? That makes no sense. Yeah, good players. You everybody's trying to win.
Says the fan base who brags about a #1 recruiting class every year.
Have a
seat
player so you can win. What
Man, if y'all didn't
Have
have
a
Bryce
seat.
Young as quarterback, then y'all, yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
I don't get that. I don't get that. But you know, injuries are part of sports. So like, I hated seeing Ty get hurt. But the truth is, I do believe, like, if we had an injury to Wendell Green, this team would adjust and find a way to score. I just our coach has been so good at adjustments in game, and in basketball they have to happen faster, right? Mm-hmm. So like I don't know, man. I just think they've done such a phenomenal job with development. So I don't know. This is how I feel about it.
Jazzy Joe says, did y'all see that Bama politician change his tone, his Twitter feed? Yes, I did see his
story.
Feed.
So Ben Bloodworth told us about this thing, and then he tagged us, and he was like, hey, Mike Caesar, enjoy. And before I could get over there, because he quote tweeted and tagged us, and before I could get over to his Twitter, he blocked me. So I blocked, and I was like, and at first I was like, what did I even do? I have never even heard of this dude before today.
He just saw the quote tweet, and he was like, nope, I know what's about to happen.
It's Ben guy troublemaker. I'm blocking him, and I'm blocking everybody he tagged. So I don't know what's going on over there. I got blocked.
Hilarious.
That's funny to me. He was like, nope. He was running the Bama men's basketball Twitter too.
As a social media vet. It's smart.
Yeah, the one time I wish I had a burner so I could just like throw it around.
Right. Y'all I'm rolling through. Oh, Jazzy Joe says he's rolling through Eugene, Oregon right now. Y'all want me to pick?
Hell no. You canceled.
You good, buddy.
You're canceled. You're canceled.
Nope, just roll through Eugene. Be safe.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, let's talk about. I think we're through the end of most of the supers that we saw. Oh, there's one more by Jazzy. Jazzy says, bro, perfect basketball shirt design. Have it say, what's the first rule of Auburn football? You don't talk about Auburn football. Wow. Keep the idea.
Hold on, cuz.
What's up?
Spicy, bro. Why you gotta do this, man? He said, "Can we talk about Cambridge shooting that one?"
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I literally messaged in our chat. I was like, "Where was he shooting that, bro?" Like
that was rough.
That joint hit the top of the backboard right at like it was just like I was like, "Bro, what happened?"
You know what? I can't excuse it. He did hit 1 3 though in the game.
He did.
And
He did.
I mean,
First half,
splashed
yeah.
it, and I was
And
like,
I think that's what he was like. You know what? Let me just. You know what? I hit one earlier. Let's give it another shot. And he took.
I
out
really
the
thought
shot.
he was about to light up on him, man. When he set for that second one, I was like, oh, Cambridge finna start. Oh, wow.
He pulled up with confidence. He pulled up with mad confidence. He nothing shaky about it until it
Yeah, you need
hit
that.
the shot clock.
You need some confidence.
Yeah, you need some results too. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Tell me
y'all-
this is a joke. This is a joke.
They're saying the
So-
message boards are going crazy on some nonsense.
Harson and the assistant. I don't know.
Is that a book?
No.
Harson
about to
and the
say,
Assistant? Is that a movie?
Yeah, I was waiting for the punchline.
You
Yeah,
heard the one
sounds like
about
a
Harson
joke.
the
You heard about
assistant?
Yeah, all right. Like, I was like, is this a joke? Oh
Yeah,
god.
no, I haven't. I'm not in message board land right now, so.
Yeah, there you put $2 behind that. If you had put 20 behind it, I might investigate. 18 short of taking that seriously.
Right. Listen, let's talk our stress levels, but let's shout out a certain sponsor before we talk about our stress levels watching the game last night.
This segment of the War Report is brought to you in part by RogueShop.com. If you're in need of high-quality, all-natural herbs and extracts that contribute to a happy, healthy lifestyle, the Rogue Shop is the place for you. With a variety of products that contribute to a healthy sleep, lower stress, and a happy mood, the Rogue Shop has you covered. Visit them at DRogueShop.com and use code REPORT today. Tell them the War Report sent you.
Guys, visit the Rogue Shop. They got some good stuff over there. CBDs, things to help you sleep, things to help you get up and do things. Our guy Richard, therogueshop.com. When you pop up, it might show as Rogue Apothecary. Same guys. Just make sure you go to therogueshop.com. It'll take you there. And be sure to use code REPORT so they know that you came over from the War Report. Richard's a great guy, a wonderful sponsor.
For sure.
Before we
for
start,
sure.
hold up. Mike, where the hell are my damn gummies?
I took him to the office today to send out to UPS. We have a UPS in my building. I was going to UPS and I forgot.
And I got stressed at work, and I had to pop a couple.
Oh, guys, I've been working so much overtime. I had to take
They're in a box. They're in a box under my desk.
Oh,
I
that's
promise to send it out
hilarious.
tomorrow. I promise to send it out tomorrow.
You know, that never sounds good too. I took I took him to work with me, right?
Lawrence, you snitches. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow. I'll send you tracking tomorrow. I
Only
promise.
Mike G takes gummies to work with him.
I'll put some
Man.
lollipops in there too. He said
Hilarious.
lollipops.
So at the half,
Jolly.
Auburn was up 37-51. Alabama actually closed in because Auburn was actually close to being up 20 late in the first half. Alabama went on a little bit of a run, feeling good, and then all of a sudden, Quinterly just starts going off. Auburn kind of starts off slow, and Bama closes in as much as 2 points. They come within 2 points of Auburn. What I want to know from Mike G. Where are you in terms of like your gummies at that point? Did you need a gummy, or were you cool as the other side of the pillow?
Okay. All right. So at this point in the game, I was very publicly and on the record of being at a one gummy level stress. I was just one gummy, and honestly, if we had a half gummy image, I would put that up there. I was not worried at all. Now, the game mattered, but it was interesting. That same Gonzaga fan I told you about earlier in the broadcast, he typed in a thread, "Hey, this game is getting good." And I in a very, very arrogant manner, typed back to him, "Nah, not really." And he said, it's a 4-point lead. And I was like, yeah, we do this though. Right? Like we let teams back in and then we end up winning by 10 or more. And Alabama's no different. And I also wasn't worried. I was a one gummy because they were still taking a lot of really bad shots. I mean, they were jacking it up from 33 feet. The James Harden step backs from, the next county over. I was like, if they're going to hit those shots, so be it. You live with it.
Right.
But those were really low percentage shots they were taking, and the law of averages, and we defended. We ran them even further back from that free throw line, that 3-point line, to make it even more difficult. And combined with our defense and just the law of averages, I was just like, they're going to miss some. They hit those shots versus Baylor, but Baylor also did not defend it very well. And they shot 60% from the field, and they just kind of shot their way to a win against Baylor. It was never going to happen against Auburn. And once Bruce Pearl decided to switch to a 2-3 zone.
Right.
It was also, they didn't know what to do with that. I asked them in the post game, I said, hey, they got back in it. Can you talk about adjustments? And he was like, man, they didn't know what to do with our 2-3 zone.
Right.
They couldn't get around it. They couldn't penetrate it. They couldn't shoot over it. That one little adjustment, like a few minutes into the second half, really just had my stress at an all-time low. And then after we went up over 10 points, I was like, oh, this is over. This is what Auburn does. Now, was there a chance that they hit some more of those crazy threes and stay close? Yeah, but they really needed that. If it had not been for Shackelford, I mean, who was their leading scorer on the game? Was it Shackelford or Quinterly?
It was Shackelford.
Right. Had it not been for Shackelford, 5 3-pointers he hit, that blowout would have been worse. He was 6 for 15 from the floor, but in 26 points, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah,
he was all they had, and he's not Superman. So I was a one gummy, never sweated it.
Seeing as though none of us have gummies yet, we're going to just play a hypothetical. B Will, how many gummies did you have? I mean, this is really, it was kind of tight early, but you were still feeling good about things. So, where were you when Bama was making that run?
I was at a 1, maybe a 2, but it didn't have anything to do with Bama. I thought it was pretty clear. Let's say 2.
Okay. All
right in the middle.
2 gummies. All right. Two. What is the exact product name, Mike, of the gummies?
It's a gummy. It's a gummy.
Is it so? If I go to the website, it's going to say a gummy.
Yeah. I'm going to say gummies. I was going to say gummies.
It's not going to say CBD gummy.
I don't know, man. Go to the website and see.
You are the connect. You ain't connected me, but you the connect. You supposed to know.
Yeah, I'll send you a pamphlet.
Anyway, the reason I needed 2 gummies was because I thought it was pretty clear last night that our personnel and when people come into the game is what determines when people make runs on us.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is Zep Jasper at the 1 cannot do what Wendell Green can do at the 1. We are stagnant offensively when Wendell is not in the game. Now, we can score some points. Defensively, we can turn some people over. We can get some easy buckets in transition. We can let KD do a little dancing, get him a easy shot. Well, not an easy shot, but he can go one-on-one and get that shot. But that's not offensively when we're at our best because we can't count on that one-on-one from KD. Not every time. We can't count on the one-on-one from Jabari, which is, again, why he's developing and he's getting better. But he putting the ball on the floor in the half court is not something he does extremely well yet. He did it a couple times last night, and I was impressed. He kind of tried to end somebody's life on the dunk, and that was one of the few times I saw him just put it down and go around somebody. He has a little ways to go before the comparison for him is KD because of his length, but KD is really like he has some insane handles with somebody his height. Jabari doesn't have those, which is why if you watch him, once he's in the half court, once he gets to that elbow, he turns his back. Right. That's where he's most comfortable, and that is where he has extreme advantage, I would say, because his height. He's so much taller than most people guarding him. That plus his reach. I can shoot over anybody if I'm 6'10" with that reach in college. So that's where he goes because he's comfortable. He needs to be able to turn around, face, and not just spot up for a shot when he faces, but actually give somebody the work straight up and get to the rim, not just to the baseline, but to the center of the floor as well. He'll get there because I'm seeing him do it more, but we can't count on it yet. They made a run on us when Dylan Cardwell's in the game. I'm sorry, man. It gets scary on the offensive end. When Kessler's not there catching them lobs in that pick and roll, and Wendell's not dishing them, hey, it's scary. Bama doesn't have the personnel to exploit that. We're going to play a couple teams in the next few weeks who just might. And that's why I'm watching that game going, man, I don't know. I see it now. I don't think we didn't play a complete game. I think we have weaknesses, and we've said this all season. We are beatable. Do other teams have the tools necessary to exploit our weaknesses? We can defend like crazy when our offensive guys are on the floor. Can you score enough on us? Can you get up 15, 16 on us? Because when Wendell and Kessler are on the floor at the same time, you forget it. We winning that. That's a plus for us every time.
Yeah.
So Bruce gives Kessler some run defensively. He's going to make his presence known. He's going to rest him so he doesn't get in too much foul trouble. Kessler's not going to be there at the 12-minute mark timeout. He's not going to be there for the first 8 minutes. He's not going to be in the game until he gets tired and then pull him. He's going to play him, pull him. Cardwell, get in there, play some good defense, give us some good minutes. And in that time, Cardwell's going to bring the energy. We know we love his energy, but he's going to drop a pass. He just is. It's kind of counting on that. And he's going to defend with as much energy, but he is going to foul more often than Kessler will. That's just what it is. There's a step down from Kessler to Cardwell. So Bruce holds him, and he lets Cardwell get in there with Zep. When he brings Wendell in, he brings Kessler back in. It's a wrap. That is it. That's the game. So at the beginning of the second half, we go back to the first half rotation. Zep, Kessler, Cardwell's in for Kessler. Zep and Cardwell, that's the darkest hour. I'm not even trying to be mean or disrespectful. Their skill sets aren't what the skill sets of Wendell and Kessler are. Once Wendell and Kessler get back on the floor, that is a wrap for anybody and everybody that we play. So the two gummies were, I haven't watched enough of Arkansas play. I haven't watched enough of Florida now that they are whole. I haven't really watched enough Tennessee, honestly. I need to watch these people. I need to know what they can do against us. How far up do I think they'll get on us if they have a big that's talented, like the big that Florida has? He's going to do some work on not only Cardwell, but he can get Kessler in foul trouble because Bama didn't have anybody in the middle with an offensive game. Right. So you don't have to worry about him getting fouled. I mean, he's going to rebound, but that's all he's going to do. And Kessler actually did that really well over him as well. We're going to play somebody that has a big that can get us in foul trouble or has a guard that can affect Zep ball handling because he doesn't handle the ball as well as Wendell Green does either. Somebody is going to have, they see it. If I see it, if we see it, then somebody else sees it. It's just, do they have the tools to exploit it? I don't know yet, but that's why I'm at it too. It had nothing to do with Bama. They were going to lose because they're losers, but they're not the only team in this conference we got to play. So we'll see.
Ike, what say you, sir?
I was cautious, but I won't say I was worried. So I'm going to be at a 1. What I'll say is the reason why I was not worried or needing to like panic is because I just didn't believe Bama could sustain it. Yeah. Like I saw him getting hot and I was like, this ain't going to last. Like they're not going to be able to do this the entirety of this half. And at some point, like they're going to make a run. We're going to sustain. Like I'll be honest with you. I didn't see us winning by 19.
Right.
But I definitely thought we were going to win that basketball game. But I thought it was going to get tight down the stretch. Two reasons, though, fundamentally. Bama can't sustain it. We're at home. If this had been in Tuscaloosa, I might have been a little bit more worried. They get the energy from the crowd, all that.
Right.
Us with our small, basketball arena didn't have enough room for Bama fans to get in there. So we didn't have to worry about them coming. Plus, Bama fans, they don't care about basketball, so they're not traveling to support their team, right? That's what they told me last night. They don't care about basketball. So why does it matter whether
anymore? Anymore.
They tried to camp out in front of their arena. They had like 3 people or something. I don't know. Because they don't care about basketball. That's what they told me. Anyway, 1 because it's
One.
Bama, and who's worried about a streaky?
I had 1-2. I had 1-2, Ike, because when I was looking in the second half, the guys who were going off were Quinley and Shackelford. That's why you can't sustain it. It's not like it was a group effort. It's not like guys were feeding off of them. They were pretty much coming down, and as you said earlier, that we're not running any set offenses. It was just, we're going to get buckets. You can't sustain that. Pretty soon you're going to get winded. You're going to have to come to the bench.
Which is why the zone worked.
Yes. So
you can't get downhill against the zone. It's not how that jump works. Like you have to, it's got to be ball movement and some kind of sets out of that, or you have to shoot over the top of it. Great. We're just gonna extend the zone, shoot from further, have fun. Right. You can consistently make that from 35. Best of luck to you.
Right. And that's how they were getting some shots, because one guy would drive, we would crash down on them before playing zone. One guy would be open behind the 3. But once we played zone, all that, and that's when we started to pull away. Yeah. I just didn't feel like they were going to be able to continue that, especially with those guys just going downhill, playing the way they were. They played an amazing game, but it was just those 2 guys. So as long as we were continuing to play good defense and we were continuing a rhythm offensively, I was not worried. Even though they did get close, I didn't think they were going to be able to sustain that. So 1 gummy for me. Let's grab some super chats. I want to get Mike G's thoughts on you mentioned NIL with J Cam. Let's talk about that later, but let's get to these super chats. Jazzy Joe says, so that's what's behind the brick wall, everybody's gummies. Mike, you have a problem. Y'all notice he hasn't punched a table since the brick wall went up.
Hey, it's true.
Hilarious.
Hey, Coach Bruce Pearl punched that scores table last night, and you saw him look down at his hand. Somebody should have asked him in that post game, Coach, is your hand okay? Because he got mad about a foul call. He slapped the scores table. I was like, "Duh, bro." Like,
he needed
you been
3
chopping
gummies.
bricks, sir? Because I was like, man, that hand. He's got some pretty meaty hands, though, so he had to hit it pretty hard for him to feel that. But he definitely looked down at his hand like, gosh, maybe I shouldn't do that.
You know what? He was a 3 gummy at the end when the backups messed up the inbound pass. Woo.
Oh, yeah.
The backup.
We're up by 18. And Chris Borg stepped over the inbounds line before he inbounded. I thought Bruce Pearl was going to walk out on the court and choke slam this man.
Oh, my God. He was upset.
I was like, man, the game over with. Calm down, sir. It's okay. It's okay. He was like,
more wish the game was over.
Yeah, man, that was hilarious to me, man.
Jonathan Harris says, I like the Jason Tatum comparison for Jabari. Okay.
His ball handler would have to get a little better. Physically, I can kind of see.
Tatum is a better ball handler.
They have very similar shoot. Nah, Jason Tatum shoots a little differently. I don't know. I heard them make that comparison on the broadcast. I still say freshman year Syracuse Melo is probably the best comparison for Jabari. Yeah, I still say that's probably the best comparison. He's not quite hoodie Melo yet. He ain't got that.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying.
Hoodie Melo.
He ain't got that so KD rock back and forth. That double cross that KD will put on him. You know what I'm saying?
KD got that. KD's a unicorn, man. Like his height, his ability to just his handles is just ridiculous. T Park says, if you look at the most successful teams in AU football history, at a minimum, 75% of those rosters were made up of top talent from the state of Georgia.
Yeah, we always do good in Georgia. Georgia guys do well here.
For obvious reasons. I mean, we're so close. I mean, we're almost practically in Georgia, so that makes a ton of sense. Guys, how we feeling about this upcoming weekend? Is it potential for a trap game?
No.
Potential for a letdown game? How are we feeling about this game?
We're beyond that.
Like, I mean, so there is no game that is not listen, it's it's basketball, period, but it's college basketball. Anybody can potentially get hot and have an amazing game. I just don't know if Georgia can do it for 40 minutes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just can they do it for the entirety of a basketball game?
Right.
Like, we're going to have to shoot as poorly as we did against Missouri they're going to have to defend as well as South Carolina did, and they're going to have to shoot as well as Ole Miss did. You see, like that's all of that's got to happen in one game for a very bad basketball team.
Yeah, I don't
know.
foresee a letdown. I think our guys will handle it. And again, that's where your depth comes in. Even if you have guys who are having an off game, you got other guys who can step in. So I think from a depth standpoint, I think we're in good shape. Again, if you look at Bama, they struggled against Georgia, but if your two guys who you're depending on don't show up, who steps up? But that hasn't been a problem for Auburn. Even if we've had Jabari has scored 5 and we ended up winning, we still can get production from elsewhere on our roster. So I expect us to get their best shot, but at the end of the day, I feel like we will pull that out. Mike G, Tommy, you mentioned J-Cam and NIL. You wanted to mention some stuff about that.
I mean, there is a lot of NIL has been at the top of everybody's mind with the portal and wondering if we compete, and there's an idea being perpetuated specifically that I want to just kind of not really shoot down. Well, yeah, shoot down, but also explain. Now, again, I mentioned these message boards where people are just like, oh, there's this one, agent of the dark forces that is spreading a narrative that Harsin is not embracing NIL. Right. And so when I hear that immediately, I think this is foolishness that we're talking about. But I started asking some questions and I realized, from talking to some people that not everybody understands what NIL really is. And so I thought it would be important. So people saw, oh, this is a big move by Auburn, bringing Jason Campbell on. And I'm like, Auburn did not bring Jason Campbell on. NIL Auburn is a separate business apart from the university that is providing a subscription model type NIL deal to athletes that fans can get in on. So if you go to their website and you click on one of the sports, there are 3 options. And there's a $250, a $500, and a $1,000 a month option. Now, if you're not some super big donor, this is a great way for you to get in on sponsoring athletes. And for each one of those packages, you get access to autograph events, and the players who sign up with NIL Auburn have they get a share of the money, but they have an obligation to show up these events and do certain things as a part of their sponsorship deal through NIL. Now, on the recruiting trail, Brian Harsin can mention it. But you know how much control Brian Harsin has over it? Less than 0. None. The NIL is about a free market where student athletes can collaborate with businesses or individuals, right, to make a deal to profit on their name. No dollar comes through the university. Auburn's only role in the process is to make sure that whatever deals are struck with their athletes are in compliance with state law, because it's not the same everywhere. So not everybody in every state can take advantage of NIL the way athletes in some other states do. Now, how does this loop back to recruiting? Some states are going to have an advantage over other states. Schools in some states are going to have an advantage if they've got better NIL laws on the books and things that they can do and things that are more lucrative for the student athlete. I'm sure that's going to be taken into account. But I'm telling you, we asked Bruce Pearl about this, and not in a presser, in our interview, we talked to Bruce Pearl about NIL, and he said, Coach, how do you adapt to this? And he told Ike, he said, listen, I can point to Jabari Smith's deal and say, look at what you can achieve if you come here. But you cannot be involved. This isn't pay for play.
Yeah.
Right.
The university, Brian Harsin is not brokering deals for recruits. He should or he shouldn't be. No coach should. Bruce Pearl should not. No coach anywhere. Now you can talk about if you're Texas A&M, I know Jimbo was going off, but the truth is Texas A&M has a very rich alumni base with a lot of very successful business owners that you don't even have to ask. They were just going to step up and do it.
Yeah.
They were looking for ways to get involved.
Right.
This is what's going to grow the difference between the haves and the have-nots. But I just want everybody to understand what NIL is. This is not Auburn University brokering deals with athletes. That's not what this is. The university has to stay hands-off unless it's about compliance. And they can work with NIL Auburn to make sure that any of our athletes joining your program, that your deal and your structure and your packages are compliant with state law in Alabama.
Right.
Other than that, hands off. So when people are saying, "Oh, well, Harsin isn't embracing NIL," what the hell is he supposed to do? This is the first year of this, and the money's not coming from him.
Son, do you know who Jimmy Rain is?
Right. Oh my God. I just don't understand.
That's how Harsin sounds in someone's someone's kid living room.
Oh my God. You should not be making, as a coach, you should not be making introductions.
Right.
All you can do is refer the student athlete to resources in the NIL department, and they have to be their own small business owners.
Does the name Spanky Johnson mean anything to you?
I'll tell you what, I know I've been critical of this coach, of some of the decisions that he's made. Ultimately, we just want to see Auburn do well.
Fact.
Sure.
We just want to see Auburn do well. So, being a fan on board doesn't mean you can't have questions. But some of the criticisms of right now of everything is his fault is really starting to irk me. The narrative about Davis, at some point, I don't ever want to be so cynical that I lose the ability to take people at their word. I understand what Derek Mason just did. But I understand the optics of having Austin Davis exit not too long after. But the truth is those situations were apart and separate from each other. And this guy really did have things going on at home that we were able to verify after the fact that affected his ability to be the offensive coordinator at Auburn University. The situation was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But to pin that on Brian Harsin, man, I'm just like some things he is responsible for. I just want to caution everybody from jumping into the, everything is Harsin's fault train right now. There are a lot of things happening in college sports at this moment. And he got an opportunity, but could it have been at a worse time with NIL and transfer portal and, all this stuff going on and what happened in our coaching change and all the things that, when you put it all in a box, it's a lot. And he showed that he's human and that he's going to make mistakes. All I care is that he learns and he rights the ship.
Right. Right.
So it looks a little bumpy, but I'm standing up for our coach a little bit tonight and just saying, I've heard a lot behind the scenes. I just don't think it's time to throw this staff away. They're going to be here next year. And I would rather find a way to root for what they're doing and be hopeful than to sit here for an entire offseason gloom and doom.
Yeah. Let's judge his coaching staff based off of games.
Yeah.
Not the latest news in January, like what Ike said.
Half of which is not even right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's grab some super chats. Let's get out of here. Ben Bloodworth says Auburn fans will travel well to Athens. Going to be at worst a neutral site atmosphere. Very good point, Ben. I fully expect Auburn fans to really be deep there. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's an early tip off too. I think it's 11 a.m. Tip off. I think on Saturday against Georgia. I think it's on the SEC network. All right, guys, it's that time. Before we get out of here. the Jazzy Challenge. This is this must be a new segment. This is the Jazzy Challenge.
The Jazzy Challenge. Yeah, we're gonna make a graphic and
I'm
everything.
about to say I gotta make a graphic or something for the Jazzy Challenge.
We gotta do this. So you each get the same players as last game. Pick the score you think your player will finish with, and I'll super chat 200 each correct answer.
Oh, so I can guess how many points. This is a harder challenge.
Ike had Wendell. B. Will had KD. Okay.
This is a harder challenge. So
Yeah.
pick to the averages. That's what I'm gonna do. Pick to the averages. And what is our guy averaging? Kessler, where you at, Big Sexy? There you are. He is averaging 11.5 points per game.
He could go for anything between 10 and 20. Or any night.
He could. I'm gonna go with 14 points for Walker Kessler. 14 points, Walker Kessler.
I go 15 for KD.
Wendell went off this last game. Does he do it again, or does he take a?
I'm gonna say Wendell cools off in this game. I'll give him. Okay, I'm gonna go 14. 14 for Wendell.
I'm gonna go 21 for Jabari.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 21. He's 15, and he would have had 20 if he had hit his free throws.
That's a good point.
I'm thinking 2021 somewhere in there. I'm gonna go 21. I think he's the leading scorer in this game. I think he gives Georgia a hard time, and he really he gets 21. I'm gonna go with that.
He's due for a big one. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 21. All right, got one last super chat or a few more here. Nova, word is Harsin is gone tomorrow.
It sounds like message board stuff.
It's a word.
Yeah, yeah. There's some stuff flying around on the boards right now about something. Damn it! I just gave you a really supportive speech.
That's what
I would rather go. Big Gap says I'd rather go through the bumps and bruises of rebuilding a program than having a top 10 recruiting class that doesn't translate on the field under Gus.
as well.
Yeah, feel the same way, man. Like the changes we made needed to happen. I'm eager to see. what this coaching staff can do in year 2. So. And we still have an offensive coordinator to name. So, guys, stay tuned to that. See who becomes of that. Do we promote from within, or do we go out and grab somebody? Who knows?
Stay tuned.
But when it happens, we going live.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
My G, take us out, good sir.
Become a patron. So $5.99.
You could not muster any more excitement than that.
Become a patron. I read something. But become a patron. Join our community. Over 400 of you here tonight. No, everybody is not a patron because I see the black names in the comment section. So get yourself a green name. $5.99. You know the perks, guys. Best Auburn community on these YouTubes. We're partnered with the Lee County Humane Society. Help us help them. #save all the puppies. Go to the About section. Click the link. Provide your information. Help us save some lives. The 50 cents on every dollar goes to the Lee County Humane Society to help them save puppies. Congratulations to our raffle winner. Goodbye, MSI. Hope it's hello. Microsoft, I don't know, but hope you found something in replace of your MSI. He's our raffle winner. Join every live stream. You'll have a chance to win something. We give something away all the time. We're on podcasts. Check us out on every single podcast platforms in these podcast streets, climbing the charts, doing our thing, pop locking. You guys know what the deal is. Shout out to our title sponsor, auburnsports.com. Our guy, JG Tate. Supporting the channel from the very beginning, and also to Rogue Shop, our brand new herbal sponsor. They got CBD products. They got everything you need to chill out during an Auburn basketball game. Promise to put it in the mail tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go over to their site, please use code report.
Code report, 10% off. You have to use the code. First of all, money. Secondly, they got to know you came from the War Report. That's how we keep our sponsors.
Let Mike tell you, you're looking for a product that's called a gummy.
A gummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
That's what I'm gonna look. That's what I expect in the mail. All right, guys, share this video on your social medias, guys, using hashtag Get Your Weight Up. You know what to do there. That helps us out a ton. Also, please be sure to get the likes up if you haven't already, guys. Get the thumbs up before you head on your way out. And if you're new, we saw some new names in the comment section. If you're new to our channel, please hit subscribe. Join our community. Also, you can find us on social media if you want to interact with us. We're at The War Report, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're a TW Report on TikTok. That's it for now, guys, but we have more on the way. We'll definitely talk about Auburn this weekend in basketball and whatever news we hear on the football front. But until then, have a great rest of your week. And as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.